We kind of know each other.
Welcome to episode 3, everybody.
Yeah, I feel like
those are kind of those are kind of good the way they do them, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, we were talking about someone that made a comment about the video, and you were coughing. That part?
No, it's something about your mother. And how we both.
Next up is the Red Eye Hour.
Alright, so Jeremy did the intro last time. I decided I'm going to do the intro this time. And I'm Xann, obviously, and
I'm JMeeks.
And to start things off, I did hear there was a complaint about us not fact-checking as much, and I do realize that was a problem. So I hired someone to fact-check. See if I can wake her ass up. Hold on. Oh my god, Keeks. You're making this super difficult. Fuck me. Damn, I was really hoping for you. That's our fact checker, Kiko. She's gonna be checking things up. Looks like she's using Bing. I don't think you're gonna be getting good facts from that, Kiko. But if you could just check everything, I'm gonna make sure you make sure we have all the facts right. People were complaining that we didn't have facts correctly, so don't go back to sleep. Don't go back to sleep. Sorry. It's really hard to find good help. We don't have a lot of followers yet. But honestly, Kiko's usually the best. She just seems tired. We haven't asked her for any facts yet, so I mean, what can a man do? So anyway, onwards and forwards. I'm surprised how well it's set from what little fucking effort I put into that. I almost should have just left it. But I think maybe we should, I think since we were already kind of doing that, maybe I guess talk more about our hosts, since like we now got her in episode 3. I guess everybody kind of knows each other.
Welcome to episode 3, everybody.
Yeah. So maybe we, me and Jeremy, we were kind of talking, I mean, just before about a couple of things about each other. Like, just like, well, I mean, we normally do. But for one, we didn't really have any idea on what to do for this episode.
We didn't.
Because
not at all.
Yeah, just life things and, you know.
Life.
So, I guess this episode we'll just wing it with that. And we were talking about something I think kind of interesting just before, but somehow I lost it trying to do my fucking comedy skit there with Keeks. I don't know if you remember what we were just talking about before, but I was actually had more to go off of what we were just, like, the immediate conversation we put on right before filming.
I think we were talking about someone that made a comment about the video and you were coughing.
No, it's something about your mother. And how we both say something, or I don't know. And then we got into talking about ourselves a little bit. Thought there was something more to go off of. But I guess I did go see a movie yesterday. I went to go see the Black Widow thingy, with the Marvel character, the girl who's a Black Widow, but she's wearing white in this. They still call her the Black Widow, so I hope I didn't spoil anything for you. But she wears a white outfit in this, so spoilers. Spoiler
alert.
Yeah, like I know it's on like the poster, but she wears that in this. And it happens. Otherwise, it's like a B-list Winter Soldier. You see Winter Soldier?
Yes.
It's like that. It's like kind of like a Winter Soldier. It started off really strong and visceral, you know, like it had good fight scenes and shit like that. But then it just really just like fizzled out, and I almost thought like the ending bit, it's literally like the exact same ending piece to fucking Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, they're bringing back down the fucking shield carriers they're gonna use in the last movie or whatever, or maybe it's the end of the shield carriers because they're all gonna, right, I remember now. It's the end of the shield carriers. They're bringing down all the shield carriers and fucking end the thing because the shield carriers are gonna start killing everybody that's like not a fucking Hydra soldier or some shit. Yeah, and that's the ending plot to it.
Is that what they're called, Hydra soldiers?
Right. That's like, I guess non-joking spoilers for people that care. I don't really think spoilers exist in movies that are trash or movies that aren't like trying to pull a spoiler. I think if something's conducive to the storyline, I don't really think of it as a spoiler, but I understand why one person can consider some action scenes a spoiler for them because they go there to see, I want to see how it explodes and stuff like that. to be fair, if you watch one commercial, I feel like watching the commercial, I go back to... They even showed it before the movie. That's the only reason it's in my head. They showed it before the movie. This commercial of them, like, how they made it and shit like that. And she's like, it's so visceral and in your face. And so you're able to, like, see it. And literally, they do take, like, one action scene out of every single action set they have there. So if you watch the commercial, literally, there is no other action scenes out of, like, the scenes inside that. So if you literally sit there and litigiously take apart that trailer, you have pretty much the entire movie in a thing.
Man, I feel like other movies do that lately. Like when you watch the...
But this is in the same universe. It's like they just jack the
I'm
same
just talking
plot.
about other movies in general, too. It seems like when you watch the trailer, like they put some of, like, the key parts in it.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
I was listening to somebody, though. I don't think it's necessarily their fault, though. I hear that's, like, a different company, but it makes it bad for us, you know, as, like, a viewer. If, like, I was in charge of my movie, I would never, like, want somebody to do, like, a trailer for my movie. I would rather do my own trailer, you know what I mean? And I get that's done by, like, another studio and everything, but especially in this, I don't know, atmosphere, I feel like that happens a lot. Like, where you just watch the trailer, and sometimes you'll even get a different take of what the movie is, because they don't even know what the movie is. What was that one that went under the radar, and they just literally didn't know how to sell it? It was a young adult. I had to look up what the fucking movie was about. It was Tom Holland, the guy who plays Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah.
And
familiar with him.
Daisy Ridley, the girl who was in the fucking new Star Wars that kind of sucked, who's just like a face.
Yeah,
And
she's newer to me.
yeah,
But I know who you're
I don't
talking
really know.
about.
I don't really think she's good. But this is supposed to be another breakout role for her, you know. And Tom Holland is also just in it, and I guess he's kind of like the one who's bringing the acting chops. I guess, from my opinion at least. I don't know. Maybe people do think Daisy Ridley is actually a good actress from Star Wars or whatever else she's been in, the dead body on CSI. But it was like sold as a fucking thriller, then like a horror, and then I think that the third trailer finally let on, yeah, it's a love story. You know, it's just a young adult novel where just Tom Holland's gonna be hitting on Daisy Ridley, and it's gonna be like, their love can't work. And I don't think I saw the movie, but it's like that's an example of how I think trailers kind of like misinterpret what the movie is, because I didn't need to see that movie to think that there's 3 different movies that could be. Like, it was like, what are you trying to show? It's almost like, you ever seen those troll videos where they take old movies and then they recut them to be like, they'll take like a comedy movie and then they'll recut it to seem like a horror movie, and they'll add like a different
I've seen
soundtrack.
that before.
It feels like that with regular trailers nowadays. It feels like somebody else who just didn't know how to fucking do the
I didn't
movie.
look at it like that. But you're right.
I feel like
those are kind of good the way they do them, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
Well, I mean, any movie that's over $20 billion has the exact same soundtrack. They have the dun 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 dun, and it's just like, it doesn't matter. It's just always a different iteration of that. It'll be some type of music building. She's like, the world is coming to an end. Just real ambiguous terms of all this action that could be happening around him, and explosions and stuff like, and then it'll just be this big wide shooting shot of some like random girl like jumping across a chasm, and it doesn't show her actually make it to the end, and then it cuts to another shot of maybe a girl trying to grab, or a guy trying to grab for a fucking Mary Sue plot device or something, and they're just like, then it's a dun 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 dun, dun coming out soon.
Well, that was a good description of the trailer, Josh.
No, not just. I feel like not just thrillers. Any action movie, you see fucking the Avengers coming out. I want to call that I mean, maybe the last movie where they killed everybody off, and you're like, oh, I hope they come back because I saw them in the trailer. But
they consider those thrillers?
No, I consider them action. I just consider them
I
call personally. I give them like a more derogatory term. I'd call them like popcorn movies. Popcorn movies that you're going to the theater for to see the big explosions and get the bang for your buck.
I wouldn't call them thrillers either. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
With action, for sure.
Well, I don't think they're bad
though. That makes sense to me.
I think they are actually doing a better job of making a Star Wars than, which is sad because it's coming out of the same like thing, but it's like the new Star Wars generation. Because I almost felt more emotion for Infinity War, and when Tony Stark clapped his fingers and died, I almost felt more emotion than that for that. Or hell, even the Guardians of the Galaxy where the blue guy kills himself and he's like, I always want to be your papa, man, and he dies trying to save Star-Lord, you know? I felt a lot more emotion for that than any Star Wars at all, like, for the last, like, I don't know, since, like, episode 1 maybe in episode 1. That's just because like I was still a child. I was born in 89, so I would have been like 10, 11 years old. I think 99 when Star Wars came out, so probably 10. And that just has nostalgia for me. And then even as I got older, you kind of remove Jar Jar, so I actually consider episode 1 my favorite of the 3 that aren't the obvious trilogy that everybody looks to as the greatest trilogy.
So you remember the ones that came out in 99?
Yeah, 99, and then
Those
I kind of
nostalgic.
fell off. I was actually kind of saying the exact same thing.
So that's nostalgic for you?
Yeah.
See, I remember the originals.
Well, I mean, you said... What did you say? You were born in 84?
79.
Oh, so you would have been 3 years after the original.
Mm-hmm.
So then what was it, 84 or 87 when the last one came out? Or was it 89? It was 87, I think. Or 84.
Somewhere around there. I don't know the specific date.
I mean, I watched those as a kid, though. I had those on VHS, and they were always my favorite one. And then when I saw Star Wars Episode 1, it had nostalgia for me, and I bought all the toys, and of course, I liked seeing more lightsabers on screen. And the dual-bladed lightsaber, like all kids, I was a high-octane 90s kid coming from high-octane stuff. We got Bruce Willis. We got cartoons now that are showing epic comic stuff that was never as good before. It wasn't just like a kid's show where it was like a whole bunch of like talk show hosts now coming in to do like, this is Wonder Woman of tomorrow. Oh, the woman of tomorrow with the invisible jet. You know, it's like we're getting like all the stuff that we can our imagination to and stuff like that. And so I came from the high octane era, and of course I thought Darth Maul was the coolest thing ever. And even as I get older, I can respect the actor because the actor is the same guy that plays Toad and multiple other things. He knows he's not a great actor, but he's an acrobat, a guy who can jump around and do a lot of stuff. And so I kind of have respect for him in that aspect. But as a character, he's just a face. You know, that's all he was. He was just a face. But Episode 1 had real sets. And then the CGI fuckfest happened after that. It's like they just gave up on Star Wars entirely. It's like he got so used to being a coffee-holding guy in a room instead of like a guy in a real set. He's like, oh man, fuck this desert shit. I don't want to be out here anymore. And like this forest, why are we filming in a real fucking forest? You know, we could put some trees up and little midgets in there. You know, it's like, I don't know. It just seemed like he got out of it. But Episode 1, it had real sets, and a lot of people always go, well, how can you think Episode 1 is the best one out of the new 3? Because everybody always goes, Episode 3 is the best one of the new 3. You remember when Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker fought? Dude, fuck that. That movie is so dumb. It's a video game. If that was a video game, I'd say that was a sick-ass video game. That fight felt like 45 minutes at the end of it. And what is like one of the scenes, him and Obi-Wan holding hands almost? I know it's like the Force powers are happening there. We just can't see it. But me as a viewer sitting there, as a Star Wars fan, just looks like they're about to kiss. You know, just kiss and get it over with already. You want to do it with Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor was carrying the whole damn thing on his back. I have lots of complaints about Episode 1, but it just wasn't a CGI fuckfest. It wasn't like everything had to be CGI. I like real sets, and that was what Star Wars was.
I get your point with the CGI. Like,
I think they made that one CGI scene.
I think they might have gone overboard.
Yeah.
With it throughout the rest of them. I don't know. I always have mixed emotions about Star Wars because.
I used to love it. Actually, I used to be one of those fans
awesome.
that probably made George Lucas quit. You know, I was really kind of like, man, George Lucas, you just kind of threw Star Wars down the drain with the fucking Episode 1 through 3. You know, and then Disney took over, and I'm like, oh, George Lucas, come back, please, I beg you.
But overall, I still like them, and I'll always still watch them.
Even the Disney ones? You liked all the Disney ones?
Which ones are considered the Disney ones?
I mean, they have quite a few, actually. They got the Rogue One.
That
was what a lot of people... No, Rogue One is... A lot of people consider that pretty good.
Okay.
If you want to go what the internet considers good or goodish in their saga, Rogue One they usually say is the best. And then they go on the New Hope remake, Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, so those two they usually say are the best. And then there's an argument or debate on Rian Johnson's. You either think he destroyed the saga or he made it an alright sci-fi. But the last one is
The Last Jedi.
Return of the Last
Jedi is the last one, right?
Yeah, Last Jedi. But honestly, that kind of, I don't know. That one is so bad because like it was just like they brought in what's his face. It was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow or something like that doing this last one, and he had like a different storyline for what was supposed to happen in the last movie. And then they ended up. He ended up pulling out after The Last Jedi or whatever. I don't know what was really happening, or the one right before it that Ryan Johnson did. And I don't know. It just seemed like the last movie was. I don't know if you could even count as a movie. It destroyed the franchise.
Hey, you better make sure you fact check it.
Oh yes, Kiko, look up the movie titles. Kiko, Keeks.
Hey.
God, you're such a lazy slut. I'm sorry, guys. Honestly, I feel like it's just impossible to get good help around here. Damn.
Guess
fucking...
we won't get those fact checked.
Yeah,
Sorry.
she's a fact. Honestly, Kiko. Sorry, honestly, she's not like this. She types for me all the time. She fact checks constantly for me. We were actually doing a run before this, and we were like, Kiko, the Alien movies. What was the years on that? And then she clicked it out and meowed and tapped her feet, and somehow we just knew the years that. Yeah, she did one of those too. That means decades. Yeah, that's decades for cats. Yeah, really.
Cats.
Yeah, Kiko's a unique one. She could actually speak fluent English. She just chooses to do the clicking and the. Goddamn cat. She's using Bing. What an idiot.
Shout out to people who have cats.
Does she not want to, like, fucking...
I have a cat.
Yeah, I have 3 of them. Kika's the only one that wanted to fact check. Mika was up there, but the light, I think, was annoying her, and I left the iPad so it would always be on, so they just have to lift their paws and do it. But that was obviously too much for that one, and she decided to keep sleeping through the light shining on her face.
Are your cats a certain breed?
Mika's a tabby, because she literally looks like the picture of a tabby that they have on. They have this at the animal doctor that I take my cats to. They have a like a little sign that says all like the different types of cats, and I was just assuming short hair, long hair. You know, that's kind of the most important part, I guess, for people that are, I don't know, in the veterinary. I don't really actually know, so I won't pretend like I know. But Mika looks exactly like a tabby cat. So she's either got a lot of tabby in her or is a tabby fully. And then Kiko, I don't know, I want to say she's a short hair, but she is kind of long haired at times, and she does shed as much as Wally. And Wally's my big cat, and people have told me he looks like an expensive cat, but I can't imagine he is because I got him free.
He looks like a tabby.
Not a tabby. What was
tabby
it?
mix, maybe.
Well, tabbies aren't expensive. It was a cat. I can't remember the cat they told me it looks like. It starts with an S, maybe a shin. I don't know. Whatever it was, I ended up looking it up, and it was like a 30. It was like $300, $700 cat, and I was like, no way. I just randomly got that cat. But Wally is devastatingly cute cat. I mean, he just like has those little fucking Down syndrome's eyes, you know, and
Down syndrome eyes.
He just have all those shaved eyes. I wish I could
messed up.
Wally, are you sleeping? He's in my laundry right now. He looks like he dug himself into it. He's probably not going to get out of there for a while. But he's just cute. He's my chubby little cat.
Well, he's not a Persian, so that can't
No, did you look up expensive breeds? I might see it if I see it.
Siamese?
Siamese. No, I know I'd know it if I see it. I mean, it's not super expensive. It's just like... It's like mid-range expensive. Like all my cats are free. They're all like, what do you say? Just
rescue.
Yeah, just like either. Well, Kiko, I got her from my family's house, and she was like in a box, I guess, on the side of the road, and it looked like it was ran over by a truck, and they didn't think there was any animals left in it, and then Kiko was in it. That was the story that was told to me. And then Mika was one of 5 from a girl who had a cat, and then it got knocked up, I guess, by some wild cat, and came back with kittens. And so then Mika was a pickup off that. And then Wally was like kind of the same thing from a Dylan's employee that was like, do you want another cat? I'm like, no, I don't want another cat. And he's like, you sure? This one's really cute. I'm like, I don't know if it's a girl, because I didn't want to get it fixed at first. So I said, I do like white cats, and I wanted a white cat. Wally ended up turning into what he is now. Like this, I don't know, he's beautiful. He's got like really golden. Man, I almost wish since we're talking about it, I could pull him out, but he won't come to me. I know he could hear me talking about his ears keep twitching.
Well, sir, thank you for rescuing cats.
Well, I didn't rescue
All
them
the cat
personally.
people
People
will
just
be
kind of
happy
gave them
with
to me.
you.
And I actually kind of was a Savannah cat? No. God, I swear, like, maybe it is
Maybe we
Siamese.
could show pictures.
Bengal! It's a Bengal. A Bengal. They keep saying it might be a Bengal. The one up the top,
Oh.
to the right.
Yeah, I'd take one of them.
Yeah, and it's like a beautiful, because they
Yeah.
say it's his coat. His coat looks like really tiger-esque. It has intricate design. And he does have like the grayish tan collars, which aren't commonly known amongst the tabbies.
Hmm.
You know, and he has really, really bright blue eyes, you know. So people are like, oh my god, that's a Bengal.
My dad has a Norwegian.
I can't believe I didn't notice that at first. That was like the first
My
one.
dad has a Norwegian forest cat.
Those are expensive too.
Yeah,
Somebody
they're cool.
wanted
But
me
he-
to get one of those, but
he-
I'm like, everybody that's trying to get me to buy one, I'm like, dude, I don't have barely enough money to get fucking the medicine that fucking the cats need. Kiko has a breathing problem. I still need to fix me.
He rescued that one. It was at the pound or whatever. And it was like pretty beat up, like scars on his head and scars in his tail, and there's patches of fur missing. But nowadays he's like, plump and happy and spoiled. But
The
yeah,
couple
it's-
below me raise cats.
who?
The couple below me raise cats. They're constantly like, they're on my Facebook and they'll like tell me about my cats on my porch, and theirs are like, they're actual rescues. Like they actually went and found handicapped cats, and
Huh.
they're always wanting to have play dates with my cats. And I'm like, dude, my cats barely play well with each other. You want to come have a play date where we're like
With your cat.
with my cats? Like Kiko's a diva that's gonna kill anything that walks near it. And then Mika, I don't know, Mika would probably hide or hiss and hack at it and tap it if it got too close. But these are like handicapped cats, and I feel like Wally would be too just rough with it. And Wally's a big cat.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he
is.
throws away around some weight. I call him McFatterson sometimes. He's so fat.
Oh man.
But man, I feel like I can't take any more cats. But my family just had puppies actually recently.
Yeah. I
They-
fucking couldn't remember. I was trying to tell Tam what kind of puppies they had, and a pointer was one of them.
Yeah, it was a pointer and a setter, and that's why my dad
Pointer and a
hates it
setter.
because he
Okay.
says, and I could be wrong. The internet could correct me. Kiko, hey, fact check this. Why are you curling, Kiko? God, what a whore. Anyway, yeah, hey, it's a setter and a pointer, and from his understanding, or what he told me, I don't give a shit about breeding, but it's bad for hunting dogs. Like, you don't want to mix with there are different types, right? There's dogs that go get birds, and there are dogs
I
that
already
find
forgot.
birds.
What was it? Pointer and what?
A pointer and a setter. And I don't even know if
I can't remember it for the life of me.
no, I think it is a pointer and a setter. I can ask my dad again.
Pull that up. I want to. I don't know.
Well, okay, I'd have to text him real quick, but and I could probably just edit this out if it goes too long. But let me find my dad too. It's probably way down here.
Pointer and a setter.
What breed is those puppers? Yeah, and he just said, oh, they're probably gonna be terrible hunting dogs because he actually was trying to breed the girl. From my understanding, he was trying to breed the girl with another dog that happened to be in the cage, and he happens has a treasure trove of hunting dogs. He has like fucking 6 of them, I think now, or maybe 5. But at one time he had like probably more than that. But he only has his land has a lot of room, so it's not like they have a bad cage. But he has to put them in a 4. He only has 4 separate pens, I think.
Well, this is what I put in when I put in pointer and setter mix.
That looks like Brittany. Yeah, I think it's a Brittany is one of them. One of them setters or pointers, and then one of them is I think a lab or it's some type of thing. They're droppers?
Still looks like a hunting dog.
Oh, I see why my dad didn't like it. Okay, so he says they can. This thing says they can hunt. But my dad wants something that goes and gets birds, points birds, or fetches birds, right? You know, that's like the only options for him. And these are like, They're just not going to be good for that. Like, he didn't carry a lab, right? A lab or like a bird that will go grab birds like out of the water. Like if you're going duck hunting, he doesn't go duck hunting a lot. So the lab is like good to go grab and swim into the cold ass water, and then grab you a bird. But like pointers, the reason they're called pointers is because if you're doing what my dad loves to do, he loves to go out into the really really cold fields and hunt quail and pheasant with his shotgun, and then he just loves the dogs to run back and forth and cover the whole field and then point directly at the bird, stick their tail straight up in the air, do the perfect position and stuff like that.
Sure.
So he's really into that. And then he'll sometimes keep, though, a dog that, well, mainly because our family is just, if you live on they live on like a farm-ish type of thing. They don't farm their land, but it's farmed by somebody because they have so much land and they want to get the tax discount or something like that. So it's farmed, and it's cultivated and stuff like that to make it a property of a land, and it really is good for birds. But my dad likes to hunt it, but he does sometimes. When you have like a lot of land like that, people just give you cats all the time because you need to have cats for one to get rid of mice if you live anywhere in the thing. And you're not supposed to feed them either. That's why I used to not even think of cats like I do now, because when I lived in a ranch, cats almost were disposable, not by because I wanted them to be. It's just by nature, the people would be giving you cats all the time. I'd find cats when we were running cross country, and bring them home, and they were just kind of like, I even heard them get eaten by like coyotes at night sometimes, I'd hear them like scream and stuff, and I'd try and save them even too. Like I remember one time I found a cat run out of the field, and one of the hunting dogs came out, and I saved it from the hunting dogs. Like the hunting dogs were getting ready to rip this thing apart, rip it to pieces all over the field. And I get it out of there. I have this cat literally in my arms like this and stuff. I guess we're doing a podcast. It's on video, but like I have it in my arms and it's with his neck hanging over the side, like right here. Like it was just kind of like relaxing back like this. And my idiot dog Rusty, which is our more kind of a excitable dog, runs up right behind and like grabs onto the little cat's head, and then I just hear its neck snap in my arms, and I'm like, God damn it, son of a bitch! I was trying to save this thing's fucking life.
Well, not today.
No, definitely not today.
Wow.
But
that's a good story.
Yeah, animals did get killed a lot. Even animals that we like. Caleb had an animal known as yeah, I totally do. You can just put him in the bag.
Drop them on you, bud.
Caleb had a dog named Coco, and that dog got ripped apart by the neighbor's dogs. And since it's Caleb's dog, even though I think he still had to clean most of it up, I remember having to clean up some of the guts on the grass outside our lawn, because it was a little shit dog, and it would just talk crap on everyone. But it wasn't like Sunday. Sunday was my dog. It was like one of the first dogs that we got. And if you want a dog to last in the Rivera family, it has to be somebody that actually cares about a pet. And I was maybe Crystal, and maybe like one other person was okay at taking care of pets, and they seemed to last very long. And actually, when Sunday did die, it was kind of a weird thing, but that was my dog. And Sunday was like a rat terrier. Rat terriers are a little disgusting little things. You ever seen it? But I always thought the thing looked cute. And the reason we got a rat terrier is because we were running low on cats, and my parents were going to go spend money on a good mouse hunting cat. And I'm like, can we get a rat terrier? I like dogs. I'm a dog person, which is weird because all my friends now would see me as a cat person. But I was like, I want a rat terrier. And so Sunday was my dog. And then we got hunting dogs after her that were smaller than her at one point, but then became bigger.
Sure.
And man, all the dogs would come into the house, and we'd like put down all the food, and they'd like all start eating. But then when they heard Sunday's little paws clicking on the wood, they'd all like back up 2 feet from their food.
Huh.
And Sunday would come by and start eating a little bit, literally out of each bowl, like just bit domineering on them, and just like walk off. And even when she used to come hunting with us, because she came hunting with us one time, and then she stopped coming hunting with us because the first time she came hunting with us, she just kept nipping at the dogs, the other dogs that didn't give a shit about her, that were big before she even got there, but she still had the dominance effect in her, so she's nipping at these dogs, and it blew my mind. I was always trying to grab her away, and it blew my mind that these dogs had so much like control, not just this one bite, KO this dog into the ground.
Sure.
And then one time I took her around the land, and we shot guns, got all the way back home, we put all the dogs away, and I'm like, where's Sunday? Anybody know where Sunday is? And literally, the first place where we shot the guns, she's sitting there shivering like she'd never heard a gun or a firework before or something like that. And
She wasn't used to it.
yeah, she was frozen there, literally. And we got all the way around the land. She must have been there for an hour. And I called her like 3-4 times. And about the 4th or 5th time, she's like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" It's like, man, you were really frozen hard there Sunday.
We always had cats growing up. My dad always had cats.
Yeah, I was a dog
So it's
person until
pretty cool.
recently.
We didn't have dogs till me and Tam got together. She had 2 wiener dogs, Duty and Sadie.
Don't you have a dog right now?
No, I used to. And then later on we got...
I'm going to take one of these pups from my family, to be honest with you. I'm considering it.
Really?
Yeah, but I
Hold
don't
on,
know
let
if
me
I
tell you
wanna
about
do
Kona real quick.
I know, I'm sorry,
That was
go,
the
go.
dog we had. So Kona was a purebred English Mastiff. And that's the dog you probably were thinking of. Anyway,
Yeah.
but she died a couple
That
years
sounds
ago
right,
of
actually.
cancer. So, but best dog ever.
Sunday was a really good
I
dog.
highly recommend English Mastiffs. They're loyal. They're super smart. God, they're just super loyal, man. And they're smart, so you can train them. Like, they're not a dumb dog. You know what I mean?
I know it sounds weird, but my pets are always super loyal. I heard my cats act different than other people's cats, and I mean, they come to their name and they do stuff that's like different. I always hear that thing about like, there's a certain type or breed you want to aim for if you want them to be a certain way or a certain thing. And I'm like, not with me. As long as I get them when they're young and they're not like abused or something, I'm pretty good with pets. I don't know. I'm just really good at getting the training in there. Like, my cats go in the car with me. They ride on my shoulder.
Well, our cat Milo, we had him since he was born, right?
Yeah.
And
I feel like you put impressions on them and they make them, that makes them a certain way. I don't think there's a sociability of an animal. I mean, I guess Chihuahuas are supposed to be little shits. It's bred into them to be loud and mouthy, but...
Sure, yeah, but Milo's super loyal, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he
was a really nice cat. He came up to me.
well,
But he probably smelled my
He's
cats.
obsessed with Tammy. Like, he like stares at her like this far away from her face, you know, like, and kind of creepy, but no.
Kiko
But he's
likes
a great
watching
cat,
people
though.
while she sleeps. She like stares at people until she passes out. If you're not cuddling her, she does. She can't cuddle like anytime during her heat, anytime maybe a week before her heat or a week after her heat. She can't cuddle because then she's either too horny, pissy, or something. You know, she can't do it. But 9 times out of 10, she's the second best cuddler. When Mika's just a good cuddler, kind of anytime. And actually, if you don't cuddle her, at some point in the night, she'll get like too lonely, and she'll want to make sure you know that at the loudest noise possible. And so I just usually cuddle her the most because she's the only one that goes, "I can't, I'm lonely, someone come save me."
Right.
And it's like, God, just shut up, and I'm trying to sleep. So I usually end up cuddling her. But Kiko will also cuddle. But if you're not cuddling her, she'll like literally sit in like some high point. She'll find some vantage point, just stare directly down at you, hopefully making eye contact as much as possible, and then pass out.
Pats out.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
just like staring
but
at
she's
you.
hoping that you see her. So
Yeah, as long as we're both
that's
like
funny.
passing out
That's
together.
funny.
This is good.
Oh.
She does it to my friends too. Like when they come and stay over, they'll come and stay over, and she'll just like sit above them and go look down on them. She's like, fools.
Don't
my
mind
house."
my cat.
Yeah.
She won't scratch you, I promise.
Yeah. Anyway, this is. I guess we'll call this the cat episode instead
This
of
will
getting
be the
into
cat
about.
episode. What's our running time?
We are at 33 minutes, so maybe we should cut.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna do an intermission, or maybe just cut here entirely, or
See
you
you
know,
later.
whatever we end up normally doing, or one of those things. Yeah. Hey, it's Xann again, from the video or podcast you just watched. I'm gonna need you guys to go down to those buttons and click them because the internet only cares about buttons, and if they're clicked, you didn't really do anything just by watching it. So you gotta like click. Anyway, peace.